She was standing right outside my fence, pointing at my cabin like it was hers to give away. "This is the one," she said to a guy in a press suit, sweeping her hand like she was presenting a model home. He clutched a clipboard, leaned over the gate, and grinned like the deal was already sealed. I stepped onto the porch, steaming mug in hand, and called out, "Can I help you with something?" She didn't blink. "Yes, you can start packing. This property is being listed today." At first, I chuckled, sure it was some clerical slip, until I noticed the for sale sign jammed into the dirt. My address, my cabin, her name printed bold as the community agent. "Lady, this is my house," I said, walking toward the gate. Her smile was thin and sharp. "Not anymore. The HOA has voted to sell it. Buyers are already interested." I tightened my grip on my mug. "Funny. Last I checked, the HOA doesn't own my deed." She cut her eyes to the suit, whispering like I wasn't there. "Don't worry. He won't be here much longer." That's when I spotted it. The gate's lock. New. Not mine. I reached for my phone, ready to call the sheriff, then paused. I had a better move. I walked back to my shed, came out with a chain, a lock, and a bright sign I'd been saving. Before they could react, I looped the gate shut from my side and hung the red placard. "Private property. Trespassers will be prosecuted." The realtor's smile withered. Karen's jaw went rigid. "You can't do that," she snapped. I sipped slow. "Watch me." Her voice spiked like a siren. "You're interfering with an official sale. I'll call security right now." She jabbed her phone, glaring at me. "Do it," I said. "But make sure they bring real badges this time." The realtor shifted uneasily, already backing away. Minutes later, an old SUV rattled up. Two men got out in cheap uniforms. No insignias, just dollar store badges clipped to their belts. "Sir, open the gate," the taller one ordered. I sized him up, smiling thin. "And under what law exactly?" Karen folded her arms. "They're community enforcement. Authorized officers." I leaned closer, dropping my voice. "I know real cops. I used to train them. SWAT deputies state. And you two? Not on any roster." They faltered. Karen barked before they could speak. "You can't scare us with stories." "Oh, not a story," I said, holding up my phone. "That's a live call to the county sheriff. You can explain to him why you're cosplaying lawmen on private land." The tall one shifted his feet. His partner muttered, "Karen, maybe—" "Quiet," she hissed. But then the deep growl of a patrol truck rolled up. Red and blue washed through the trees as the real sheriff stepped out, broad-shouldered, mirrored shades. His voice was calm, steady. "Morning. Someone tell me what's going on here." Karen pounced. "Yes. This squatter is blocking a legitimate sale. My officers were threatened." The sheriff's eyes flicked to me. "True." I raised my phone. "No, sir. My land, my cabin." She changed my lock, planted a sign, brought fakes. "All on video." He turned to the imposters. "Names?" They stuttered. One spat out a name I recognized. It belonged to a deputy I'd trained years ago. This guy looked nothing like him. "Badge numbers," the sheriff demanded. Silence. Karen tried again. "This is a private HOA matter. We have the deed." She shoved a folder into his hands like it was her ace. He skimmed it, frowned. "Huh. Says the property transferred 2 weeks ago." My chest sank. I'd never signed a thing. Karen smirked. "See? Legal. He's trespassing now." The sheriff passed me the papers. My signature was a child's scribble. A stranger's name filled the buyer line. "That's forgery," I muttered. Karen's shrug was smug. "County already processed it. Taxes paid." "With what money?" I shot back. She dodged the question. The sheriff rubbed his jaw. "If this is fake, it's felony fraud. But I need to confirm." Karen snapped. "Meanwhile, he can leave. The buyer's waiting." "Not happening," I said firmly. Then, to the sheriff. 2 months ago, I installed a full security system. Cameras, plate readers, off-site backups. Every visitor logged. If we pull the last 2 weeks, we'll see who filed those papers. For the first time, Karen's confidence cracked. "You can't use that. It's my land, my cameras, my evidence." The sheriff's eyes narrowed. "All right, we'll check records now." Before she could argue, a sleek black SUV rolled in. Covered plate, tinted windows. Out stepped a tall man in a tailored suit. Karen's face drained. I didn't think you'd come yourself, she whispered. He ignored her, eyes cold on me, then on the sheriff. Officer, this doesn't need to escalate. We have paperwork. Let's resolve this privately. And you are? The sheriff asked. The man flicked open a wallet. Not ID, just a gold-stamped business card. Marlowe and Steele Holdings. I frowned. Never heard of it. But Karen's darting eyes told me she had. So, you're the buyer? I asked. He half smiled. Let's just say I represent interests that want this land. Urgently. Karen tried to back him. Mr. Steele has connections. If you move out quietly, you might even be compensated. The sheriff cut her off. This deed is either valid or forged. Until I confirm, nobody passes this gate. Steele leaned in. Sheriff, you don't know who you're dealing with. I chuckled. Funny, that's what I was going to say. I added, you might want to check the original title. Filed in '05. My father's, transferred to me. Certified copy exists. Safe. Notarized. Karen scoffed, but her voice trembled. Titles get updated. That one was. The sheriff's radio crackled. Unit 4 courthouse footage confirms suspect. Female, mid-50s, short blonde, floral blouse. All eyes swung to Karen. She stammered. That's not me. But the sheriff was already walking back to his truck. We'll see. And if it is, we're adding fraud, impersonation, and lock tampering. Steele turned on her, voice like a blade. You said it was clean. You said he was a squatter. Her knees wobbled. Hey, he was supposed to be gone. I smirked. Guess I missed the memo. The sheriff faced me. Sir, bring your certified title copy to the station. We'll straighten this out. I nodded. But as we walked, Steele stepped aside, phone to his ear. His words were ice. Plan B. Do it tonight. I froze, adjusting my jacket to hide my listening. No, I don't care if it's risky, he continued. Make sure it's empty. Then burn it. My blood chilled. He wasn't talking about papers anymore. He wanted my home gone. Karen's eyes flicked away, guilty. She knew. The sheriff asked, something wrong? Everything's fine, Steele answered quickly, slipping his phone away. I stayed silent. Not here. Not yet. Instead of following them, I cut through the woods to the ridge above my cabin. 20 minutes later, a dark van crept in, parking just short of the road. Two men got out, gloves on. One carried a red gas can. I recorded everything from the trees. They marched straight for the gate, surprised by my heavy chain. One pulled out bolt cutters. That's when I stepped out of the dark, racking my shotgun. The sound froze them. Private land, I said evenly. And you're 5 seconds from explaining that gas can. One dropped it. The other stammered, we're a maintenance. I raised an eyebrow. Maintenance doesn't wear masks at night. I tilted my phone. Smile. You're already on 3 cameras. Right then, the sheriff's patrol lights swept in behind their van. He doubled back, suspicious. In minutes, both men were cuffed. The sheriff glanced at me. I'm guessing they don't work for you. I handed him my phone. Better, listen to the voice memo. You'll hear who sent them. By nightfall, Karen was arrested for fraud. Steele was picked up for arson, conspiracy, and property theft. Turns out Marlowe and Steele Holdings had been flipping properties with fake deeds across the county. As I locked my gate that night, I hung a new sign, land protected, owner armed, recording 24/7. I thought of my father, the title he left me, and the men who thought they could steal it with forged paper and cheap threats. I glanced at the road, muttering, I didn't serve this country to hand it over to crooks. Then I walked back into my cabin. My land, my rules, and now no one would dare touch it again.